Today is the 14th of April and I had surgery done on my nose about 3 months ago. I had a deviated septum and a fracture on this side of my nose, on the bone. I think that was from 2007 when I had my accident, fell off a roof, and somehow I broke my nose, but it wasn't that bad and I didn't even know until like 6 months ago that I actually had a broken septum and a fracture on my nose. And the reason why I noticed that I had the fracture on my nose was because I've recently had to start wearing glasses, so that would start to push down onto the nose and it would start to hurt like hell. After my surgery, I recorded a few videos showing the puffy, swelling, pain, all that sort of stuff, so I decided I'm not going to talk about that in this video, just more talk about my experience with getting my nose operation. The reason why the surgery wasn't done in December like it was originally planned, it was because I went into the operating theatre. I was like in the room right next to the operating theatre, and then the doctor came out, the surgeon, who I didn't know. She wasn't my surgeon, the one that I'd been talking to, and she said, "We're here to fix your deviated septum." And I said, "What about the fracture on my nose?" And she wasn't there to do that, so to avoid doing 2 separate surgeries, I postponed it and I got it done in January. So day 1 of admission on the 15th of January, I was a little bit nervous, but I wasn't as bad as I thought I was going to be. Everything went according to plan. I got taken into the operating theatre, and the I really cannot say that word. The anaesthetists, I can't say that word. Let's just say the dude that was going to put me under. That dude. His name was Charlie. He was really nice guy, and he could tell that I was a little bit nervous, so when I was on the operating table and we were waiting for the surgeon, he was pumping morphine into my drip, and that was making me feel a lot better and a lot calmer. And then the next thing I remember, I was having a weird dream about having a blood transfusion. Don't ask, I don't understand it either. And then I woke up and the first thing I felt was them pulling the tube out of my mouth, like because I had the oxygen tube down my throat. I can remember that being pulled out, and then the first thing I said was, "Thank you, Charlie. Thank you for not taking my tongue bar out," because that was the biggest thing that I was worried about, because I didn't want my tongue to close over because I have my tongue pierced. And out of everything, the biggest and most annoying thing was having to swap my piercing studs for plastic bars, because in December I had 48 body piercings, and then when that all got mixed up at the hospital and I didn't think it through and put plastic studs in my ears, all of them went back in except for one, putting it down to 47 piercings. So then in January, about a week and a half before my surgery, I started swapping all of the studs to plastic bars. Well, most of them. I had about 20 in my ears. And this is my bag of plastic studs. I think I had at one point about 20 or something studs in my ears of the plastic ones, and I had a plastic tongue bar as well. When I woke up, the most annoying thing is my nose. It was itchy, it hurt, and I couldn't scratch it because it hurt too much. And I get sinus problems, so my nose gets itchy all the time. I'm allergic to grass, and any sort of pollen in the air makes my nose itchy, or maybe runny sometimes, and not very pleasant. But that was the most annoying thing by far, was the itchy nose. And it was itchy and sore for about a week, or probably about a week and a half to 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, it was nowhere near as bad as it was. And my nose looked like it was shifted to this side, but that was because where I've got the fracture on my nose, I actually had to drill through the bone to flatten it down. And this is what my nose looked like when it was all swollen and puffy, and I was kind of scared to look in the mirror. I was like, whoa. At one point I thought, oh, did they put my nose back on wonky? But after about a week, most of the swelling had gone down, and after about 2 weeks it was pretty much all gone, but at the moment I'm pretty sure that my nose is still slightly swollen. I went back and watched a few videos that I had recorded in early January, late December, and I noticed that, yeah, my nose is a little bit more puffy than it was January and December. My nose doesn't hurt anymore. It's still slightly sensitive right here, just where the septum starts on the tip. It doesn't hurt here, which it did before, but just here it doesn't really hurt. It's just very, very sensitive, and I can't put much pressure on my nose. If I put too much pressure on it, it hurts. So that's my experience with the septoplasty and that inferior turbinate something or other. Doctor talk, I don't really know what it is, the thing where they had to drill my nose here. I think I'll leave it there, and I will see you guys next time.